Hi guys, Christine here with Mercado Mom Reviews. And today I have my son here, Elijah, who's eating. I asked him to just speak for a few seconds because he doesn't really want to be a part of the video, but I figured since everybody's having issues with unemployment here in Pennsylvania, we live in Pennsylvania. Some people may be experiencing things differently in whatever states they live in, but we're from Pennsylvania, so I can only talk about, we can only discuss what we're going through and experiencing. Okay, so I'm going to lead off with Eli first, and he's going to just talk briefly about what he's experiencing, and then he's going to get out, and then, yeah, he'll go and do what he's going to do. But I basically forced him to come and talk about it, so that way you guys know what's been going on and things like that. Okay. So,
thanks, Mom.
Thanks
so,
for
guys,
joining me.
Thanks. All right, guys. So basically, pretty much what it comes down to is that I have filed for my unemployment, and I have been getting it. I have received it. I haven't really had any issues with receiving the money, and I was a full-time worker before I got laid off, and I filed for unemployment the following week as soon as I had got laid off. And then they send that pin in the mail. That takes I think it took 2 weeks or something like that. I got my pin finally. And then after that, you have to sign up on this one, or you have to file your bi-weekly claim. And then you have to use your social security number and then use that pin there for you to sign on to that account right there. And then you file the bi-weekly claim. And then you go onto another account, which is the U.S. Card, I believe, website. You go on that to check to see if the if the money went through, and that you can go and spend that for your leisure and such. So anyway, I did in fact get my money, and whether it's because I was a full-time worker, I'm not sure, but yeah, I got my money. So back to you, Mom.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. See ya.
So you want to leave? Okay. He's gonna.
Oh.
Can you even get out of there? All right, guys. Okay, so yeah, so he didn't have any issues. Like he stated, he filed for regular unemployment. Now, I also filed for unemployment, the regular unemployment, and that was March 29th. And then I got a notice that I was, the determination notice is what it's actually called. And I got that. I'm basically looking at my little notes. I'm going over my notes here. So I got that notice. It was postmarked on the envelope for 4/28. Now, the notice on the letterheading was 4/9, okay? So on the 9th is when, I guess, they got the paper ready to determine that I was not eligible for it. Okay, so then April 24th was actually the deadline for me to appeal. Now, I got the notice the 28th, which was 4 days after the appeal date. So, but I did hear that they extended the appeal dates, I guess, or whatever. So I don't know how much, I really don't know how much more time they've given people. But I didn't appeal it because I figured I am a seasonal worker basically. So there's 2 months out of the year that I don't work because the company that I work for is not doing anything, so I basically am off for 2 months anyways out of the year. So that's the reason why I was filing, because then we weren't going to resume business as usual. So I was denied, and then I winded up going and applying for the pandemic unemployment assistance. Okay, so now I applied for that on the 3rd. Okay, so March 3rd, I winded up filing for that. Now, I also did hear that if people are going to file for unemployment, that they're supposed to apply for the regular unemployment, get denied from that first, And then once you're denied, then you can go and file for the pandemic unemployment assistance, which I did. I did the right thing. I applied for regular, got denied, and then I applied for the pandemic unemployment assistance. So, like I stated before, I had filed for the pandemic March 3rd. And then I started getting benefits, okay? So I got the benefits I claimed for 3 weeks so far. And then I received the money for 3 weeks. Now, they also say that you were supposed to be backdated, which means since the time that you become unemployed, you're supposed to get money since that point, which I did not. Alright guys, so my memory was full and basically I had to transfer things over to my hard drive in order to start recording again. Okay, so where I left off before, and now of course it's hours later because I had to go run and go and pick up something. Alright, so where I left off was the backdating. So the pandemic unemployment assistance also gave you the option to be able to backdate your claim, which means that from the minute that you became unemployed due to the pandemic, you were able to file for that money, which basically you were able to get retroactive. So I didn't receive any retroactive, and I would say last week here in Pennsylvania, you were able to backdate it. But then since this scam that they've been saying has just started after, I guess, Memorial Day, there was this big thing that was going on that people were scamming and they were sending I think through the bank accounts, people were getting money that never even applied for benefits. So then they decided the safest route was to start doing paper checks. So sending them through the mail. Now, I basically today when I went and checked my mailbox, because I got the $600 through my bank account. But then I was missing the $195 for my actual amount that I would get in regular unemployment. And so I will show the check that came paper mail while we were driving to go and do the errands that I said earlier. So after the scam, now they have decided that they are going to be sending paper checks, and from what I understand, it's only going to be for the people that have applied for pandemic unemployment assistance, and I guess that you've been receiving, or I don't know, I honestly don't know how long this is going to take. So when I went and checked my email, I winded up getting this notice. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to come over to the camera and I'm going to show you the email that I actually received that they're now going to be sending paper checks. Okay, so I got my 195, but at this point, I don't even know what's going on because I'm going to show you in a minute the email that I received. Now, before I show you that, let me just start by saying this. If you guys, I understand that some people haven't even received a dime yet, okay? And they're waiting, either they got their PIN and they got a notice saying that, you know, they're going to be getting, they got approved or whatever. I really don't know. I can only talk about the experience that I've had with the pandemic unemployment and also the regular unemployment. So let me just say this. Last week, when the backdating became available, I decided to backdate my claim finally, because before it would say that you couldn't do it. So then last week, late last week, they finally allowed you to backdate. So I did. I went and I put in from March 29th, when I had originally applied for regular unemployment. okay? And so Sunday, okay, of this last week, this Sunday, okay, today I believe is Tuesday. So Sunday, when I went to file for my claim, because every Sunday you're supposed to file for the following week. So I went online and I went into my account because I already have an online account, okay? So I went online and I went to file for Sunday. And then when I went to file for Sunday, let me show you. So I'm going to come around and I am going to show you what the notice said. I am also going to show you the email that I received saying that now, since this scam, I'm going to be receiving paper checks, okay? Hold on one second. So here's the actual website. And then once you sign in, this is the page they take you to. And in the center on the left side, you're going to request to backdate. You're going to click yes and then put the date and then your reason. And this is what it brings me to when I try to file my weekly claims, which basically just states that the backdating is being considered. And until the process is complete, that I cannot file weekly claims. And this is the email that I received from them stating that I'll be getting checks in the mail. And this is the check that I received in the mail from them for the $195 that I was talking about earlier. Alright, so here's the deal with the whole backdating system that I showed you. Okay, so I did go, like I said, and I backdated. Now here's the problem. I just showed you what it said online. So when Sunday came, this last Sunday that just passed, I was not able to file my weekly claim. Okay? Until they finally figure out, consider my, accept me, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. They're going to consider my backdating. So until that matter is taken care of, I will not be receiving any money now. I do not know how long it is going to take them before they finally consider my backdating. So here's also what I'm thinking, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that they would put a system into effect that way when they were already giving me some money. So for 3 weeks, I got some money from when I filed from the PUA. But now, since I decided to backdate, now I'm not going to receive anything at all until they figure all this out. So from my understanding of this whole thing, which doesn't make any sense, so basically now you're bringing me back to having nothing at all because I decided to backdate. So instead of giving me my weekly money and then them working on backdating the money and stuff like that, now they decided to not give me anything until they figure out whatever they're going to figure out. Okay. So now this is how I want to be help to you guys. And I'm going to say this. If you're already receiving money from the pandemic unemployment assistance, I would consider whether or not if you can even afford to wait until they figure things out, if this is the way the whole system is working. Now, I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just happening to me right now, but I don't know if you guys want to take that risk. So this is the reason why I wanted to basically make this little video, okay? To see if this will help anybody else considering backdating, if the unemployment owes you guys money, the pandemic unemployment assistance. You have to basically decide, are you willing to backdate your claim and then risk not getting any money until they decide to figure it all out, or whether you continue to get your weekly money and then maybe when they catch up, this catch-up game that they're playing, because you have over 4 million people that are unemployed or more. I don't even know. I can't even keep up with the number now. But so you figure the workers that they have working on it now, it's just not enough for them to figure everything out. And plus, in Pennsylvania, they started this new system, okay? So this new system that they're trying to figure out, since they said the unemployment system originally was so outdated that they had to come up with this new system. So this is the reason why we are having such problems with the system, okay, here in Pennsylvania. Now, I don't know if in the other states, if their system was out of date as well, and so this is the reason why, or if it's just the fact that they just don't have enough workers to figure all these claims out, you know, and approve and deny and whatever they're gonna do, which it's understandable. It really is understandable that there's so many of us that are unemployed. It's really not the unemployment, the government's fault, the state government's fault for this, but I will say that they really, before they close all the businesses and shut down the economy for the majority of the businesses, except for essential businesses, they really needed to think this through before they put all of us Americans out of work and out of an income, okay? And if you just think about it, even if you were trying to get assistance here in Pennsylvania, this is considered an independent state, which basically means that you got to figure things out on your own, okay? So that's why before this happened, our unemployment rate was not as high, I guess, as other states, because the majority of people do have jobs and were working. So it's unfortunate that this has happened, but the fact of the matter is, the way that they handled this whole situation is really ridiculous, because you have so many people that do not. And if you don't have family that you can turn to say, hey, I need some money to buy food, I need to buy Pampers, if you have children that are in diapers and things like that, you really need to, you know, I don't even know. And my heart really goes out to you guys that don't have family that can help you, that you know, that you can say, hey, can you give me some money or whatever. And you know what? Shame on the government, honestly, for putting us in a situation like this that we don't even know. There's like nowhere to even get help. You know, from what I've seen online, the pantries and things like that, a lot of people were going home with no food. Okay, so you go early in the morning, you line up, because that's what I saw on the news in New York. I don't know and I imagine that other places are affected the same. So you're lining up at these food pantry banks, okay, maybe even churches. I don't even think the churches are doing anything, because before, you know, they were closed. I know now the president ordered them to be able to open up the churches, okay, that the governors had to, you know, let churches be opened up again. Okay, so I know that this was supposed to be a really short video, but then it winded up turning into a rant, because I'm so disappointed in our government and the way that they've handled this whole situation. You know, it's just, I just can't, like I said, I can't even imagine how other people are surviving. And I know all, you know, these things that are going on with the looting and stuff like that. Even the looting is really, really taken out of, it's just really ridiculous, because you have these looters that are, you know, they're over here, these small businesses are barely even making it. They're actually trying to hold on because of this whole pandemic, and then you have these looters and these people that are just ruining their businesses, and you know, their businesses are catching on fire. I saw one, you know, owner of a grocery store was in tears, because that was his livelihood. And now you have the pandemic, but now what's going to happen? Is he going to be able to rebuild and open up again? Or is he going to be in poverty, you know, with the rest of us here that are waiting for the government to figure it out? You know, I don't know. All right, guys. So I am so sorry to be ranting and stuff. I know a lot of us are, others are going through this, and I'm hoping to at least help you guys to figure out whether or not you should backdate. You're not alone. We're all going through this right now. Some are going through it worse than others. The people that are not receiving anything at all. Up until this point, I was receiving for at least for 3 weeks some money. I'm still waiting on my backdating. So you guys just basically have to figure out, do you want to backdate? I hope that it doesn't happen for you and that you are able to backdate, and then it just goes into the system, and then you just wait and you are able to still get your weekly claim. Guys, I hope that this was helpful for you. Thanks for listening to my rant, and everybody be safe out there. Bye.